Story 1. Say what you mean. Do not try to have us figure it out. You are only wasting both of our time. Nobody is a mind reader. Story 2. Men are not uncontrollable libido machines. You may have heard that men want sex so badly that they are ready to fight at any moment with anyone or anything, but that is a massive exaggeration. True men, on average, might be more willing to engage in risky sexual behavior, but even that does not apply to most men. If your partner is not in the mood for sex or cannot maintain an erection after being awake for 30 hours, it has nothing to do with you not being sexually attractive enough or him not liking you. Men can say no to sex for all the same reasons that might cause you to say no thank you to sex. Similarly, just because your partner is a man does not mean it is okay to use sex for gifting or to apologize for something you did. That reduces sex from a beautiful shared intimacy between the two of you to something you endure as a transactional tool. Most men will not say anything about this due to societal conditioning, but it can cause cracks beneath the surface. Story 3. They can also take the initiative. It is quite nice when a girl or girlfriend asks you out. Story 4. Be really careful about the fundamental attribution error. Many people fall into the following double standard. Yes, I snapped at them, but that's because I've been under so much stress recently, and they should really understand what I'm going through and not blame me. They hurt my feelings by being careless or forgetful. They know that being careless or forgetful hurts my feelings. Therefore, the only possible explanation for their actions is that they intentionally did that to hurt my feelings. Also, saying something along the lines of, "You're not the type of person I'd have a one-night stand with, but your real husband material," will not be taken as a compliment. Story 5. Try to limit the "oh, he won't mind" mindset as much as possible. We do, in fact, mind, but we learn as we grow to pick our battles, and most things are not worth addressing. Story 6. Just because a man is attractive does not mean he is a womanizer with a full roster. Some people genuinely want to be in committed relationships. Story 7. Testing is gaming, not just testing. If we want gaming, we have PlayStations for that. Double standards are not standards. They are essentially nothing but nonsense. Honesty, commitment, faithfulness, accountability. They are all part of the same two-way street. Hints and vague signals are not communication. We are not mind readers. Story 8. Your rock is not really a rock. It is a tree that needs regular sunshine and water. It is generally quite easy to be the rock for a traditional woman. If I come home and there is someone who lights up when they see you, who has prepared dinner and made sure the home is inviting and orderly, and who is appreciative and vulnerable with you, well, I can be your rock until the day I die when there is that kind of peace and comfort. I am not saying a woman should do that, by the way. Nobody should do anything. If you prefer to be in a relationship that is more equitable in terms of domestic and emotional labor, that is fine by me. But then there will not be a rock for you in that home, because being the rock is emotional labor too. It is not just who we naturally and effortlessly are, it is something we need to be enabled to be. Enabled by someone providing us peace and comfort, essentially. So it is not a rock. It is a tree. When you want to be able to lean against that tree, you need to put in the extra mile to water it and shine your light on it. When you think that is unfair, then go ahead, let that tree grow by its own accord without your cultivating hand. But do not try to lean on it, and do not get disappointed when you inadvertently uproot it when you did. You will suffer the extra work of watering your tree, or you will suffer its absence. You cannot have it and not care for it. Story 9. We are not your emotional punching bags. Stop treating him like your ex-boyfriend who wronged you. By that, I mean men are not things you can unload all your emotional baggage on, expecting them to fix your issues while also fixing their own. Of course, a good partner would be supportive toward their girlfriend or boyfriend, but that is only if the girlfriend or boyfriend is actively working to heal from their trauma rather than relying solely on their partner to fix it. This is not directed toward all women. I know some women understand this. Story 10. Be direct. Do not say things like, "Do you want to go to XYZ?" and then get upset when we say no. How are we supposed to know it was not a question but a demand? Story 11. We start by treating you the way we want to be treated. Then we treat you the way you treat us. Story 12. Just because you are very pretty does not mean we want to do all the work. Story 13. Women's general tendency to rely on generalizations is as wrong and offensive to men as it is when it is done to women. Thank God for the women who do not do this. You are the best. Story 14. We think differently, and that is okay. Do not try to turn us into you, but help us understand you so we can appreciate you on a deeper level. Then put in the same effort to understand us. Story 15. Déjà vu. Most men are incapable of reading minds. Body language is not taught in most schools. Story 16. Men process social and emotional cues differently. They tend to focus less on subtle details and may not pick up on moods or feelings as easily. This also affects how they communicate and show support. Men might prefer straightforward conversations and demonstrate empathy through actions rather than words. Story 17. Men do not commit microaggressions. If he does not hug you, kiss you, open the door for you, or say hello to you, it is not because he is upset with you. He genuinely was not thinking about it. Also, just because he was not thinking about it, it is not a microaggression. He had something else on his mind. Could be something serious or something as simple as wondering why trees look the way they do. Most men will say what they mean. They are not going out of their way to do little things to upset you. Story 18. We are discouraged from showing emotions from an early age with phrases like, "Big boys don't cry," or names like crybaby and sissy for any gentle act. I want women to know that when they want their boyfriend or husband to open up to them, men often do not know how. Even when they do, I have heard women betray the man's trust by making comments to others about it not being sexy or going too far. Story 19. Don't sweat the small stuff. Do not be afraid to take the high road while others take the low road. Learn to call each other out constructively for being obnoxiously irritated or off-tone. Laugh. You have to be able to laugh. Having inside jokes and making fun of each other goes a long way in building easy time passers and breaking down barriers. Story 20. While we are naturally expected to provide safety, we also need it in our home, from our partners. We need to be seen, to be heard, and to be able to show our weaknesses to our significant other. We can hurt too. The compensating macho man may hurt the most inside. Only in this way can a man be the truly loving, calm, and safe husband and father you want him to be. Story 21. How deeply vulnerable we are to feeling emotional pain, not to mention the obligation of acting like everything is okay when it is not. We hurt, and when we do, we hurt deeply. There is nothing colder than a woman's cold shoulder, especially when she can move on in an instant. This is one of the hardest things for men to deal with. It is not that we cannot move on ourselves. We can and will in due time, but we need time to process the transition. Women seem to have a natural ability to start a new life as if you never even existed, and that is hard to deal with. Story 22. Talk to me. If there is something you want, just say it. I do not want drama. Intimacy and emotional connection are 80% of contentment. Story 23. When women tell a story, they should start with the conclusion and then explain the story. In between the story and the conclusion, they provide many details, most of which are not related, causing the listener to get lost. Story 24. It is hypocritical to assume that a guy's locker room talk is shared with all their friends. In reality, after I have sex with a girl, her best friend will know my penis size, how long I lasted, what my opening move was, if I was any good, and if they do it again. A guy's conversation about having sex with a girl goes along the lines of, "Yo, how did last night go? Good. She's actually pretty chill. Did you guys end up hooking up? Yeah. Hell yeah. Yo, where should we go get food?" Story 25. Most men want to be treated with care and affection behind closed doors. Hold us, be intimate with us, run your hand through our hair, write a poem, whatever feels genuine. Story 26. If you are asking me to take the lead or make a decision, such as where to eat, where to shop, or what to buy, then I need you to be okay with the outcome. You cannot ask me to choose and then get upset when I go with one option over the other. If you are stuck between two grocery stores, one that is cheaper and one that has your favorite brand, and you ask me to decide, do not be mad when I pick one. The choice is always between two things. One will be left out either way. All I do is help move things forward by making the call. So if you want me to choose, be ready to accept the choice. It frustrates me when people want someone to take charge but do not want to follow directions. Story 27. Sometimes men are unintelligent and say foolish things without thinking. Not everything that comes out of our mouths is intended to hurt feelings or complicate things, but sometimes it feels like we never get the benefit of the doubt and things are taken in the worst possible way. Story 28. We have mental health too. We also like it when a woman initiates something. We are individuals. If someone treated you badly in the past, that does not mean all men are like that. Maybe, just maybe, it is how you select them. Story 29. Having a high-paying career and a house is not as important to many men as it is to women when looking at men. Story 30. Most men are capable of giving many of the things you want, just not while they are with you. That is not always a him problem. Sometimes that is a you problem. Does he feel safe, comfortable, loved, respected, welcomed, desired, and cared for when he is with you? Or do you treat him like the incompetent man-child the internet convinced you he is? Story 31. I think men are much simpler than women. I guess it is the need to be direct and avoid nonsense. But I am autistic. I am the one craving honest and authentic connections. I wish people would say exactly what they want instead of playing around for ego, attention, likes, or dystopic needs. Story 32. Stop worrying so much. I know that's easier said than done, but you end up creating far more issues in relationships than you prevent. We are generally pretty direct. We don't do subtext. We don't notice every little flaw you think we are hiding out of politeness. Stop testing and stop questioning. Also, we get just as insecure as you do, we just get shamed much more for showing it. When a woman is insecure, it is everyone's job to reassure her. When a man is insecure, he is seen as pathetic and awful. For example, 32 to 68% of paternity tests come back negative, yet you get so offended if we ask for one. It is not necessarily about mistrusting you. It could even be a hospital mix-up. I see women supporting men who ask for this small reassurance. Our intrusive thoughts and insecurities do not matter at all. It is all about you. Meanwhile, every few days you come up with elaborate and bizarre relationship tests to see if we really love you, and we are supposed to be fine with it. Story 33. I think it is better to be straightforward when you want something. Men can be bad at picking up on signals or hints. Story 34. We are not all like the worst people in the various communities we share. It can be exhausting to be treated that way, and it sometimes feels like a catch-22. Some women are not as accountable or do not work on themselves as they expect us to, which adds to the problem. Most of the time, any conflict is one-sided, and the woman at the center of this will keep doubling down, thinking she is being singled out no matter what people say. Men have many of the same wants and needs. Also, much of the relationship advice from certain social media apps is not the best. It is meant to keep other women doubtful and overthinking, sometimes bordering on the same content that incel creators produce. Often, the advice we give is in good faith, so do not assume it is a personal attack. Many men just want things to go more smoothly between them and women, but some women do not seem to understand that, or at least do certain things in bad faith. Story 35. Passionate sex is intrinsically tied to love for most of us. I don't know why. I can't explain it. If we don't have consistent physical intimacy, nothing else really matters. Story 36. Just because you do not understand the need for physical intimacy to feel wanted and connected in a relationship does not mean that men only want sex. Story 37. Anytime a woman starts with, "If I was a man," the actual answer is, someone would have punched you in the face by now. Story 38. Do not use vague, subtle denial hints and then complain about nobody catching your signals. If you want to be understood, say what you mean. If you withhold sex as a negotiating tactic, you are encouraging me to find a substitute. Story 39. If you come to me talking about a problem, I am going to give you my opinion on a solution. We are hardwired this way. Why are you talking about your problems if you are not looking for a solution anyway? Story 40. I simply don't want to tell you what I'm thinking all the time. And for the love of God, Don't think I want to listen to a constant flow of what you're thinking. Put a filter on it or just accept that I'm not taking much of this in. I'm just listening for keywords and tonality at best. Story 41. Sex is not just both partners orgasming. A little oral stimulation in the morning, an unexpected touch during the day, a naked picture sent by text, a quick intimate moment while dinner is cooking, some more oral stimulation while watching television, and so on. Foreplay for men is typically very sexual and can last all day. Story 42. Women need to learn to communicate in the masculine. Men have to learn to communicate in both the masculine, for friends, work, and sport, and the feminine for family, dating, attraction, and maintaining a partner. Women get by mastering just one style, and most expect men to have a commanding mastery of the feminine to be attractive, seductive, successful at dating, and effective in communicating with their female partner. Men are expected to learn both. Why is this a double standard? Story 43. That attractiveness is a skill, and some of us do not have that skill. It makes no sense to believe we deserve romantic love, but also believe that we cannot compel an individual woman to love us romantically. Story 44. We deserve, and some of us at least want, basic rights to our bodies. Foreskins, like vaginas, depend on how clean the owner keeps them. We should not villainize a natural part of the male body. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.